All right, so before we get in there and we start connecting calendars and creating individual calendars and round robin calendars, there's one really, really important step that needs to be taken in order to get your calendar set up and assigned to a user. So you'll notice in here right now, I'm actually sitting in my profile. So once the user account's created and the user is logged in. Now this is very, very important. This needs to be done from the user's profile. If this is not done from the user's profile, it's going to cause all sorts of problems because their calendars aren't properly going to connect to the user account itself. So the user actually needs to be the one to do this. It's really, really important. So I'm logged in as myself. I'm in my profile in settings. And if I scroll down here, I can now go and connect calendar. So I'm in calendar settings. I'm going to connect to calendars. So I'm going to add new. We use Google. So if you use Google, it's really, really easy. You're just going to click connect. It's going to send you to the integrations page and you're going to go sign in with Google right here. And I'm going to sign in with my RM marketing email address, go continue, and I'm going to allow. Now, if this is the person that also owns the Google My Business profile, this is going to ask, hey, do you want to link this account to a business profile location? I'm not going to because we've already got our other accounts connected, so I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to click exit. But now on the settings page, you will see when I refresh this that my email address is integrated right here. So this means that I can now have my Google Calendars integrated with my user profile. So I'm going to go back to my profile and I'm going to scroll down and you're going to see that now because I've connected that, it has connected my Google Calendar here. And then what I need to do is I need to add my Google Calendar to my linked accounts. So I'm going to click over here to add calendar to sync your bookings and I'm going to click add. And I'm going to say, which third-party calendar should I add new events to? And I'm going to say, add them to my adam@rmmarketing.ca main calendar. Now, the other option that you have, if you've got multiple calendar types, so for example, we've got our GHL Mastery VIP, which is a standalone calendar that we book just VIP events in that calendar. But let's just say I wanted to use that calendar to book appointments. I can then come in here and I can select which one of my calendars do I actually want to book this in. 90% of the time, I'm just going to book it into my main calendar because I want to be able to check for conflicts in all of them. So I'm going to link this to my main calendar here and click save. And it takes a little bit to do that. All right, it's taking its time. However, we can still set this up. So in your conflict calendars, basically what this means is that if you've got any other calendar connections with your Google Calendar or your Outlook or your iCal, which other calendars do you want to check for conflicts in? Now, a perfect use case for this is that, like I said, we've got the GHL Mastery VIP, which is its own standalone calendar that was created by me in my adam@rmmarketing.ca calendar. I'm also a dad, and so we've got our family calendar that is shared with my business calendar so that if my kids have sporting events or my wife is going to be home late, whatever the case may be, I want to check for conflicts in those calendars as well so that I don't get double booked between work and family. So what you can do here, once your main calendar is connected, you can click edit on your conflict calendars and you can select whatever calendars you want to select here. So I'm going to say, hey, if the GHL Mastery VIP is unavailable or is available, I'm going to select this here and it's not going to book meetings in the time slots that there's already a meeting booked in the GHL Mastery VIP calendar. Now, this is still being processed, so this is all grayed out, but once it's been processed, this will not be grayed out, and you'll be able to select which calendars that you have permissions for, at least, which calendars you want to check for conflicts. Oh, there you go. So it's already processed. So now I can go check for conflicts in the GHL Mastery VIP calendar. We also partner with this company here, so we're going to check for mega events. And if they're in that calendar, then I can't be booked at that time either. So there you go. That's how you check for conflicts in your calendar. It's going to check all of these other calendars that you have shared access to and make sure that you don't get double booked. So there you go, guys. That is how to set up the user side configurations for the calendars, which is absolutely crucial for your individual calendar booking and your round robin, and honestly, pretty much every single other version of the calendar. The user's calendar configurations must be set up first in order to do this. Now, I forgot a couple things, so we're just going to cover those right now as well. The user availability is also absolutely important. So where do you want your standard meeting locations to be? Do you want to connect to Zoom? Do you want to do Google Meet? Are you going to meet at an address? Are you going to use a phone number for a phone call? Now, you can connect your Zoom account here. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys what that looks like. Connect Zoom. I'm going to log into my Zoom account and sign in, and then I'm going to give access to Highlevel to use my Zoom account. Allow this app. Done. Now, what this does, when I connect my Zoom account and I use this as my default, it is going to create a brand new Zoom link for every single meeting that I have, which, depending on how you operate, you may or may not want this. Me personally, I usually will go from back to back to back to back meetings. And so I use my personal Zoom link instead of this Zoom connection. And the reason for that is that if I'm on a meeting and the next person's late, well, my one meeting is going late anyway, so I can keep on going until the next person gets into the waiting room, right? So I've got my Zoom account set up that way so that I can just go from one meeting to the next and they all join on the same link and get put into the waiting room. Whereas this method, it's going to create a brand new link every single time for every single call. So I've got to hop off one call, hop onto the next one, hop off one call, hop onto the next one. So you may or may not want to do it this way. If you do want to do it the way that I do it, you're just going to go to custom, and then you're going to add your Zoom link in here, your personal Zoom link or personal Zoom meeting link. You can add right into here. Okay. Now you can also connect your Google Meet account, which by default is going to be connected because I connected my Google account in integrations. So Google Meet is going to also do the same thing. It's going to create a brand new Google Meet link for each individual meeting that you have. Obviously full address or phone number, you're going to populate that here. If this is a location for the company that people are meeting you at, you're going to have the location.name. If this is the location or the address of the contact that you're booking the call with, you're going to change that to contact.full-address right there. Obviously, it goes without saying, you're going to need to make sure that you have the contact's full address before you book the meeting. And then the last one is phone number. This is going to be by default location phone. You can use user.phone here as well, and you can use contact.phone here as well. And this is going to be the contact's phone number. So that's your meeting location setup. Now, as the user, what times are you available, right? I typically work Monday through Friday, and I start my day at around 9 a.m., but we've got morning meetings at 9, so I'm going to make my public availability start at 9:30. And I usually have to go pick up my kids by around 3 o'clock, but I have my family calendar integrated into my Google Calendar, so I can say that, hey, if I don't have to pick up my kids, I am available until 4:30, right? 4:30 p.m. And then you can just copy this across all calendars. The other thing that you can do here is you can do split time. So if you want to take a lunch break and always have a lunch break, I just add a lunch break into my Google Calendar, and that works just great. But if you wanted to split this up, you could say that you work from 9:30 to 12 p.m. like so, and then you can add time, and you can say from 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. would be the next branch of time here, and that is going to literally just keep a blocked off hour every single day for the calendar. And you can do this custom for every single day of the week if you so choose. And then we're just going to click update availability. And there you go, guys. Now I'm done with this video. This is basically all of the user configuration settings that you need to have set up before you actually create the calendars. And the reason for that is you're going to assign users to those calendars, and without the users configurations, it just won't work. So make sure that you do this first. And again, I'm going to stress that this must be done in the user's account. Okay. The most important part of this is that the user is the one that does the integration with their Google account. Once that is done, that Google integration is linked to that user, and then you can come in here and do all of the user calendar configurations according to these instructions. Hey guys, I hope you found that video useful and helpful for you getting your company set up in Highlevel and getting your white label started with the Highlevel ecosystem. Now, if you're just starting out your journey in the Highlevel ecosystem, or maybe you're even an intermediate, or consider yourself an expert that just wants to know a little bit more about the Highlevel platform and how you can leverage it, I would encourage you to go and click the link in the description below this video and hop into our GHL Mastery program. What do we do inside of our GHL Mastery program? Well, we have 5 calls every single day of the week, Monday through Friday, for 2 hours a day, where we actually help you get into your system, help you build, help you troubleshoot, and just overall help elevate your overall skill set on the Highlevel platform. So if you're interested in getting hands-on every single day support, plus a couple of bonus goodies, snapshots, AI systems, the like, then go ahead and click the link below to join our GHL Mastery VIP group. And I promise you, you will learn more in 1 month than you will in 6 months doing this on your own. We will see you in the next one. Take care.